window, go over here, game audio, point it at Factorio, and then wait for it to spin all this loading up. I would like to do single player load game Factorio stream. Feels like way more than 5 days since the last time we played Factorio. It's kind of messed up. But nevertheless, here we are. So last time we finished Circuit. What's up, Ari, by the way? Enjoy your lurk. Last time we finished circuits, we built this little red circuit plant. We built this blue circuit plant. And we also built this thing. The chip complex that does a full 8 belts of greens. I did not ratio any of them out. I did it entirely based on vibes. It'll probably be enough, but I can't prove it. We do have a ton of leftover greens from when we dismantled these old factories, though, so I'm just going to get a couple of them stowed away in these new chip machines. And then the big remaining task before we do Gleba, I guess, is artillery on walls. But we don't necessarily need to do that. It's just something that I want to do. I may skip it, though. And the reason that I may skip it is because there's still a lot of green circuits left over. Is because even if I do build all those artillery, we don't make cannon shells fast enough. Because we are actually throughput limited on Vulcanus because of our spaceship. And our spaceship is not getting any better anytime soon while we do not have a nuclear-powered, advanced asteroid reprocessing capable space fleet, which is something that we get on Gleba. So I think I may... You just took copper plates, and then your drones are going to immediately put them back into storage. That's true. That's pretty true. So point being, I actually don't think I'm going to set up artillery on the walls before we leave. Because I don't think the artillery is going to be able to fire anyway. And we can just do it when we get back from Gleba. So what else do I need to do before I leave then? Upgrades to circuit and bot mall to utilize EM plants. We do need to upgrade the bot mall still, but it doesn't really look like anything's running. So maybe we can also wait on that until we get back from Gleba. I think that's relatively low priority, though it would be nice to do eventually. I don't think we need to upgrade the power grid because I'm not going to be touching anything. I should maybe double check that we are mining enough patches for the trip. Like, I don't want to run out of copper ore while we're on Gleba and have this entire factory grind to a standstill. So maybe that's one to take care of before we go. But besides that, I actually think maybe we're ready for Gleba much earlier than I thought we would be. Let's free up a little bit of logistic storage here. Standardized electrical. Wall maintenance and upgrades is actually done. We can get rid of that. The only thing you're still working on building is this, and it's because you're missing landfill. I can help you with that. Let's go put that together for you real quick. Okay, there's still some random boxes scattered all over the place. Why is science not running right now? What are you out of? You're out of blue? How are you out of blue? Oh, because the red chips are still buffering. I don't think it's actually ready to summon a train yet, because it hasn't assembled enough of them. Yeah, okay. Alright, that makes sense. That makes sense. But our production statistics for an advanced circuit should suggest, if we look across 10 hours, we're making 1,200 a minute sustained when previously we were making 720. So we've almost doubled our capacity for making red circuits, and the only reason we can't push it even higher is because plastic is going to be our throughput limiter. And we don't have the extra oil fields to generate more plastic right now. So I think we're going to have to live with whatever science per minute we're able to generate out of our existing oil field. Unless I wanted to do something insane like put prod modules inside my refineries, but I don't know. That seems a little too much. Yoink. There you go. Drones will be along shortly to build that. Was that all your landfill? No, here's the extra. Just square that off. Square that off. Give me one more. There you go. Nice flat edge. Work out some aggression quick. Remind them who's boss. It's me, by the way. Parentheses, it's me. Parentheses, I am the boss. Okay. I feel better. I think that's it. No, you want to check your mineral deposits. So, like, how much copper ore? Copper ore. You are currently mining about 10 million. Currently mining about 10 million iron ore. Currently mining about 3 million stone. That should last you. Currently mining 1.4 million coal. Again, well, coal's actually a little low. I might need to bump up coal a little bit. We could conceivably run out of that. You have the drills on you? You're 31. You're gonna need more. Yeah, I'm gonna set up one more coal patch, and then I think I'm just gonna send it to Gleba. We have spent so long on Nauvis working on this stupid wall, I just want to go and do anything else. So Fulgora, not enough logistic storage space. What are you trying to store that you can't? 187,000 wire. But we eat wire. But you're full on copper. Being full on copper is actually the issue. So your wire's backing up because you're full on copper. I think you need to set this higher, lower? No. I think you need to leave it. It's fine. It just goes a little slower than you want it to. But it should be fine. Just don't touch it. It probably works, even though I can't explain why. You are the repairs tank in case I need anything, and you're fine. You have extra bullets, you have repair packs, you have construction bots. You have a suitable logistics grid. Yeah, I'm just going to set up one coal patch and we're going to leave. Give me some of these guys. 258 blues is not going to be enough. 19 stack inserters is not going to be enough. Continue emptying these random storage chests that you have scattered around the land as well. This logistics network has been absolutely hammered by random garbage, and it's time we start cleaning it up a little bit. Like, why do you have 31 splitters? I can just give these to the red splitters factory. That amount of copper plates, I can't help you with that. These I can take. These you can just build with. Alright, you can now take obsolete items again. Power grid's keeping up. Oh, how worried are you about running out of uranium while you're gone? That's a question. 450? I don't think you are. I don't think you are. And in the event that you do... In the event that you do, it would be really bad. Like, really, really bad. But we have an enormous backlog of U-238 right now. Like, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. I don't think we're gonna be on Gleba for like 40 hours. I mostly know what I'm doing. 264 entities are missing construction robots on Volcanus. What is going on Volcanus that you need construction bots for? What? What happened here? Why is this happening to you? Why is this happening to you? Is it the maximums in space again? Ah, I bet it is. Yeah, this just needs to be infinite. Nope. No, that's not right. No, I don't want you to set a maximum. That's the thing. Maybe that'll work? Or is it 0 to 5,000? Bug, I don't know. I'm gonna let you sit like that. I'll fix you later. I'm pretty sure that the Volcanus bots can figure out where that stuff goes. Make an infinity. I drag the right slider again. Oh. Yeah, alright. Fair enough. There we go. Yeah. 5k to infinity. This should keep them from trying to overfill. And not worry so much about precise numbers. Okay. That should be better. So, let's go set up that Gleba patch. The blue science is finally turned on. We need... probably like 2 stacks of U. Should be fine on chests. I probably want like another 3 stacks of blues. You have 63 power poles. You have 61 drills. Should be good. Should be okie dokie. Science is slow. I need to go figure out why that is. I'm not using every lab right now. That suggests to me that somebody is not producing as much as they should. But why? The problem is blues. Blues are not coming in fast enough. Are all blue machines running? No. They aren't getting reds fast enough. And they aren't getting reds fast enough because it's not unloading fast enough. No, it's because these are yellows. That's a belt throughput issue. Also an inserter throughput issue. That should fix it. And then you're waiting because you can't pick up more red chips. I still don't think we're making enough red chips to run science at the rate that we want to. We're definitely not. We're going to need to make a second one of these. But I'm not going to do that. We're just we've overbuilt our labs and our assemblers for the amount of science that we can realistically produce. But these are now backed up and these are all running. So that should at least kick our science per minute up to like 300, where I think it's supposed to be. Okay. Here, here, here. I need my construction dots back. How many of you fit in a rocket? 50? You are going to Gleba Voyager. You're going to Gleba Voyager. Drop your ammo off. Take one last look at... No, you still wanted to make your cold patch. Grab a couple bots. It's a good... You got so unlocked by the fact that you weren't making enough blue science that you forgot to set up the cold patch that you wanted to set up. So go grab a couple more bots. Because I think you make them in the mall. You do. These will be the ones that we leave on Noes. Also, it looks like your labs are doing much better now. Alright, let's go knock one... you're gonna need track as well. Signals? You're good on signals. We're just gonna need track. That much should be enough. They're carrying something away, which I like to see. Keeping busy. And then I'm just going to set up on this patch down here. Hey, Ocean. What's going on? I don't know how much landfill I'm going to need, but we'll say that's probably good enough. We're going to grab you. Found out where the music came from? I thought you knew where the music came from already. Is there deeper lore behind it? You don't get copper here, right? No. I thought you sent me a link to the song. Like, I thought it was a solved problem, but what did you find out? You need more landfill. How much more? 12? Doable. I have a stone mine somewhere over here. I can just go pilfer from that. Here it is. That'll do. Oh, it was a person singing the lyrics of the song and their voice got remixed. Okay. So I was gonna say, like, no disrespect intended. If it was like an actual professional recording. But it sounded too good to be a professional recording. Or it sounded like... It sounded too good to be about Guild Wars. So that makes perfect sense. This is maybe the laziest power job you've ever done. But it works. This is going to be a 3 to 4. It's going to go here. And then you need to bring a station down. Give me this loader. Bring the track with you as well. You can do here and it'll work. You just have to run these belts up one more. You know who would like that song? Actually, is Azure. Azure, are you still here? You should go to NA Alliances. And you should check the multimedia channel. Ocean posted a video with a song that I think you'd be very interested in. Also, did you ever finish the song you were working on for World vs. World? Because I thought you told me a while ago that you were working on a song. And it's never manifested. Which is fine, because I also said that I was working on the server history project and that hasn't manifested. So, like, we're both guilty parties, but... if Gix can shame me into working on that project, then I can shame you into working on your song. So that's coal pickup. You are going to need 2 ways to get onto that track. And again, because we're functioning at the height of laziness, I don't see any world where you have to turn the other direction, so I'm going to leave this as a one-directional stop. And that should mean that I really don't have to stress about coal while we're on Gleba. Because that is another 3.2 that we have tapped into. So let's go to Gleba. We've waited long enough. It is time to leave. You already packed your drones. You can just go straight to Voyager, and you can go to Gleba. Get ready to watch a man be bad at fruit. "75 degrees tomorrow is too damn hot. Take me back to winter." This is the wrong circuit condition. Wait, where are you going? Hold on. Why did you just leave for Vulcanus? Go back to Novi's. Wait, have you not researched Gleba? Oh, you haven't researched Gleba. Hey, you should probably do that. Let's knock that one out quick. And then set your conditions up, because you need to run a wire from your oxidizer tank. How do you have it set up on the Vulcanus Pilgrim? Both oxidizer tanks to a crusher to the main platform on red. 2 oxidizer tanks to a crusher to the main platform on red. And then you are allowed to leave Novi's when it's a circuit value? Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. Circuit condition, oxidizer greater than 15,000. And then I'll just patiently wait for my Gleba research to finish, which will be in 2.5 minutes. If I fly to Fulgora, does it get me like halfway there? No, it's just straight up the wrong direction. This has been a good little platform. It's been very functional. How are you out of ammo? What's going on here? If you ever idle in orbit for too long, that's a problem. That's the wrong circuit condition. You... Oh, because you're also wired to the belt. That's fine. You need to be on red. And then you're enabled when firearm magazine... Yeah, so that'll be fine. You just need to be on red instead of green. And then do the same thing here. Because eventually these belts will back up, and ammo will pile up in here. Actually, you don't have a green circuit anywhere on these belts. Why would that be? What are you doing? You're reading contents. You're used for a circuit to tell how much ammo is on the belt. I guess that makes sense. But Gleba's closer, so I'm going to run without it, and I think we'll be alright. Alright, Gleba discovered, add station, Gleba, circuit condition, empty, go. Off we go to Gleba. 16 entities are being damaged. How are you getting damaged? You shouldn't be taking damage. Oh, it's because the artillery are firing. The artillery train is turned on. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So, the walls take a little bit of damage when the artillery fires. But that's fine, because I do want the artillery to start cleaning these nests out a bit. Alright, I'm okay with that. When we get back, we're going to have a bunch of oil fields that we can expand to. But for now, let's focus on Gleba. So, I will say this. The first time I played through Gleba, I did finish it. I have a stable Gleba base on the other file that I've been running, which really at this point is just like I let it idle in the background when I'm working because it's sitting there generating science passively. I cheated on that Gleba planet and I shipped things in. My Gleba base there is not self-sustaining. It relies on other planetary imports. So for this Gleba, we are going to be building an entirely self-sufficient Gleba. It is going to build its own rocket parts. It is going to have its own native power grid that is not reliant on uranium. And it's still going to produce all of the things that it needs to generate agricultural science and bulk inserters and all of the other things on Gleba that are good and positive in the world. Please send down my construction bots. I need them. They are important to me. So first thing we want to do is a bit of scouting. Let's see what we're working with. We have 273,000 stone, which is pretty good. Hell sent the original if I want to hear it. I will. I am very interested. Alright, this is our jelly nut? No, this is our Yumako. We've got a decent Yumako growing area here. We actually have a second stone. We have close to 500,000. That's good. Decided making blue circuits was not worth the sulfuric acid, etc. It's, like, probably not. By the time you get to Gleba, you should have a functional interplanetary network. But I just think that engaging with planet mechanics is fun. So I'm going to do it. Double Yumako. We have a couple of our iron stromatolite. I'll actually probably want to grab a couple of those to get started. So give me these guys. And then I'll want to grab a couple copper as well when we see them. Here's our jelly nut. Do not pop an egg raft yet. I'm not ready for it. Or am I? No. Copper stromatolite. You? No. Egg raft? No. Stay away from it for now. How am I having this much trouble finding copper stromatolites? Oh, here's some. Alright. So that takes care of heating tower. Takes care of agricultural tower. We are going to need to get our hands on some spoilage, some steel plate, some electronic circuit. So, spoilage is going to come from trees. And I think we have a nice area here to set up a base up that doesn't involve cliff explosives. Or we could do a nice long base this way. I don't immediately know which one I prefer. But the point is that this is the space that we want to clear out to do our building. And also to get our initial spoilage. $374 should be plenty. So I'm going to need a little bit of stone. Give me about 5 of you. Right. Probably don't set those to obsolete items anymore, because they're going to be extremely not obsolete here shortly. For the time being, we're going to be running off of wood. Let's get some iron going. Iron is going to let us build a couple burner mining drills. We can start to get stone set up. From getting stone set up, we can build more furnaces. We can set up some agricultural towers. Steel is going to be the big one that I'd like to get automated here shortly. But before we do any of that, I need a biochamber. So let's go mine a jelly nut and mine a Yumako to hit those trigger technologies. Yoink. And then correspondingly, yoink. Artificial soil, we need to craft 500 nutrients. We need to craft 10 nutrients for a biochamber. There's my 10. We'll just make it out of spoilage, and then it'll probably turn back into spoilage because I'm not going to be able to make a biochamber that fast. Five more. Take your iron plate. Make 5 burner mining drills. We now have pentapod egg, burnt spoilage, nutrients from Yumako mash. Next trigger tech we're going to be looking for is making a biochamber, which we do with nutrients, electronic circuit, pentapod egg, landfill. So I'm going to need this copper first. Let's get you down. You can just mine into boxes for now. And then I would like 5 more stone to make 5 more furnaces, probably. So stone comes from these stromatolites. Here's some. You. Okay. That wasn't even close to enough. Also, you're gonna need more wood. It's fine, we can get wood. Take these things out before they explode and kill everything else. We can also burn spoilage, but I'm gonna save that for later. Because it's like the only thing I can do to make nutrients right now. Give me a couple of these. 3, 4, 5. Copper. Wood. Don't grab the stromatolites. You don't need those. That should keep going for a while. The absolute first thing I want to get set up here is probably rocket fuel. But that should be enough to build circuits, so now I just need enough stone to build landfills. Let's make 25 circuits. It's going to be good for 5 biochambers. Well, we get 5 pentapod eggs. Zap. There's one. Small stomper. Shouldn't be a huge problem. Grab all these, grab all these. You're a problem. I want you to go away first, please. Alright, I'm just gonna grab the eggs and leave the stomper. You're a little too angry for me right now. But we got 11 eggs out of it. Bioflux is done because we've built our first biochamber. I want to turn all of these pentapod eggs into biochambers, ideally. So let's get as much as we can out of that. I'm going to need a couple more iron stromatolites before they expire. Where are you going? Oh, okay. Sure, I guess. There were so many iron stromatolites up here. Here's some of them. Yeah. Alright, that should be a decent amount of iron for us. Set up some extra copper, grab some extra landfill, extra 1. Copper is now what we're short on. Stone is now what we're short on. Three biochambers? I'd really like to have a bunch more. And then the very first thing that I would like to get is rocket fuel. Don't remember exactly which one it comes from. It's from you. I need to make 25 bioflux. But once we get rocket fuel, we have a sustainable power source. We will also probably never make Alarctic furnaces on Gleba, because the amount of rocket fuel that you can generate using bacteria is crazy. It's going to run our heating towers, it's going to run our boilers, it's going to run everything. do you need for a couple egg towers? Steel plate. Should probably work on a little bit of steel plate. I'm not going to need a lot of egg towers, but I am going to need at least 2. And steel takes a while to make, so we'll get that going now. Only need to make 3 more biochambers. I would like to give you an entire stack of iron to work on. Oh, and it gets the steel plate productivity. That's so good. I completely forgot we researched that. I'm going to get bonus steel for doing nothing at all. And then you're out of iron. I need more wood. There we go. Oh, the other 2 ran out. Whatever. We tank that. Right, 2 more of these to go. Iron is currently your limiter. So you're just waiting on it to smelt. One more of these to go. Landfill and iron is your limiter. Just iron is your limiter. Boom. Now we don't have to worry about pentapodites going bad. And we also have more than enough biochambers to get started. So, here's what we're going to need. We're going to need iron, first of all, because I need to get some belts set up. We are going to have a 4-belt system that is going to govern everything in the Gleba base. 1 belt is going to be for Yumako, 1 is going to be for Jelly Nut, 1 is going to be for spoilage and seeds, 1 is going to be for bioflux. Everything else is then going to fork off of that main bus. So we're going to have 1 big set of 4 belts that's running right down the middle of everything, and we're just going to spur everything else off of that, because those 3 things, bioflux and both the fruits, functionally are all you need to make everything on Gleba. It's very, very straightforward. So given that I have Jelly Nut here and Yumako here, I'd actually kind of like to belt up north. Is that going to be enough space? If I start the main bus like right here, I think it'll be enough space. Yeah, it should be good. I actually kind of want to start it like here. Clear some of this out. So here's my 4 belts. We're going to have Yumako, Jelly Nut. We'll have a gap in the middle for splitters, and then we'll have spoilage, seeds. Bioflux is also going to run north, actually. How about this? Yumako, Jelly Nut, Bioflux, spoilage, and seeds. That is how that's going to run. Earmark them? Excuse me? Is such a thing even possible? I guess it is. That's a weird hole in the defense. I guess the range on turrets is as much as you would like it to be. It all gets repaired at the end of the day anyway. Also, maybe it's just a really big wave. I just want to watch this for a second. Yeah, it's that the spitters can sit there and just kind of start shooting. Alright, that's fine though. It's okay. This is why the wall self-repairs. So you're going to be Yumako. You're going to be Jelly. This is going to be Bioflux. We don't have Bioflux yet, but that's what it'll be eventually. And then the break in the biome is right about here. So this is roughly where we're going to start lining up biochambers. What are your ratios like here? You want to be making Bioflux. So you need 15 Yumako Mash, 12 Jelly. No, that's not right. You need 5 and 4. How fast can you make Yumako Mash? 6 per second, so we only need 1 of those. How fast can you make Jelly Nut? 12. So we want 3 Yumako Mash to every 1 Jelly Nut. To every 1 Bioflux. So something like this. You're going to need more iron and copper to plan your inserters. You have none more copper. It's fine, I could get more. Can you? You have plenty of copper. It's actually iron that you have. Also, you're done. No, you are going to need more iron. Go get some more stromatolites. That'll do. Wait for those to expire. Make like 10 inserters. You're also going to need a couple power poles. Start with wood ones. You can upgrade them later. So the way I'm thinking about having this work, turn your roboporter off so you can just plan for a bit. Belt out here. All this does is run Jelly Nut. Jelly, I guess, technically. Inserter at the end, filter, spoilage, and Jelly Nut Seed. That is going to go onto this belt, which is going to go underneath the main belt, and is going to go join into the spoilage plus seed. I actually want to flip this whole thing around. Yeah. Yeah. Like this. So, inserter. Here. Here. You don't need to get clever with it. Bioflux out on a long-handed, probably. You filter Bioflux only. How much is this going to make? 2, 4, 6. You could double that. But this is 12 per second, so that's going to saturate a green belt by itself. You're also going to come out on a long-handed, I think. No, I actually think with you. Because you need 12. You're going to do one of these. And then you're going to do one of these. So that's your bioflux out. That's 6 bioflux per second out. These are going to go under. Bioflux is going to come out like that. Over here, that's going to be your spoilage plus seeds inserter. Good. And then here, I think you actually want to do a nutrient sushi belt here instead to avoid wastage. So you would have one more biolab. It would be here. It's going to be responsible for turning nutrients into bioflux. Bioflux is going to run through a splitter here. It's going to turn in like this. No, it's not going to turn in like that, because you need a way to take spoilage off if it spoils. Yeah, you do want to run it down the middle, don't you? No, you can do it another way. You can get rid of this. You can slide these back. Back twice. You can go long-handed on them. You can go like this. Yeah, I like this more. I can already tell I like this more. That's the jelly nut. That's spoilage out. Then I can have a belt here that just circulates nutrients. How do you get the bioflux in? Because bear in mind it's going to spoil. Maybe you leave yourself an extra space. I like this so far. I think I'm cooking with this. It's just not quite there. You don't need to be filtered. You only have Yumako as a valid target. You also only have Yumako as a valid target. You need spoilage out. You can put it on the nutrient belt. If we put spoilage on the nutrient belt, then we can just have one inserter that lives at the end of that belt that yanks it off. So like this belt would come around like here. This is messing with me though. I need a way to get nutrients in here in an efficient way. Well, what if you just didn't have it inline? What if you disregarded all of that? You did that. And then you have inserters here that are set to... I don't think they actually have to be filtered. I think the only thing they could ever grab on that belt is nutrients. So this is nutrient in to keep the biolab running. This is bioflux out. It's spoilage out. This is everything out. We don't have to worry about what you're doing. You need a way to get jelly nut in. Which may be... like this. You filter spoilage only. You filter bioflux only. And then we also have room for power lines, which is nice. So then these come out one further than they would otherwise. And then you snip all of that off. You turn in like that. And then what did that let you do? It's a good question. I don't fully know. What did that let you do? No, wait. No, 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 no. I see it, man. I see it. Hold on. I see it. Act fast before you can't see it anymore. Bioflux here, bioflux out. In here is jelly nut. Split here. Turn off. Underground. 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 Jelly nut in. Underground. Yes. Yes, he's cooking. Yes, he's cooking. He's got it. Inserter here. Extend belt by 1. You, spoilage. Jelly nut that passes to here that spoils will then get put onto the combination nutrient plus spoilage belt. These don't even need to be underground anymore. Bioflex comes on here, comes out. Jelly nut comes in here, gets picked up here, gets put out here. This needs to be filtered on spoilage and jelly nut seed only. You are Yumako mash in, Yumako seed in only. Good. And then you are... You're not in map view. You are Yumako in. No, 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 that's wrong. You don't have a place for Yumako in yet. Then Yumako in would need to come here. And it would need to pass through a splitter here. So far, so good. And I think I know where the nutrient lab is going to fit as well. It's actually going to be crazy. You need long-handed. Here, here, here. Those are grabbing nutrients. No, that's grabbing Yumako mash. And if Yumako mash spoils, you put it onto a belt here that turns in like that. You don't need the seed though. But you do need to take out any Yumako seed that you get. And that would be a job for a long-handed inserter coming out the other way. That only removes nutrient in, Yumako fruit in. These don't need to be long-handed. They can just be normal inserters. Boop. You are Yumako seed out, spoilage out. So why wouldn't this work? Because I think this works. No, I think it just works. I think it just works. Then, your genius idea. Underground. 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 Biolab. Eating bioflux directly off the belt. Feeding it into a splitter. That also balances that belt in half. And this can output anything because nutrient and spoilage goes on the same belt. So this just sits here and loops forever. The only thing we have left to solve is how to get spoilage out of that loop. And we do that with one more inserter that sits here, that feeds into a splitter. So the spoilage belt is actually going to come down by one more. And then you're just going to have an inserter that sits here that is filtered on spoilage, jelly nut seed, Yumako seed, and if it sees it, it grabs it. Because we don't need spoilage on that belt. I think this works. And then if we need a second one of these, we can just copy and paste it. It's perfectly tileable. You make nutrient from bioflux. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It takes 8. Alright. Let's start building. We also need to hook all the power up. I have no idea how I'm going to power this thing currently. But we can figure that out. That's not hugely important. You're also going to need a lot more power poles. Start getting wood together. Like, power is easy. It might be ugly, but power will be easy. Right, your cliff. Take more of that. Take that. There we go. Now we've got some power poles. Remember that biolabs don't take power. But you are going to need to use some undergrounds here. Nah, you could skip to mediums, I guess. It's burning some of your precious steel. But you could justify making a few mediums. Also make an agricultural tower. because you're going to need to start planting these bad boys. Okay. It may seem like we spent a lot of time on doing absolutely nothing, but that logistics flow is the core of Gleba. We're basically going to be using this exact same structure to make everything. Everything is going to work like this. It's going to have a nutrient loop that eats spoilage and waste products that dumps it back onto the bus. It's going to eat bioflux in some capacity. It's going to eat jelly nut. It's going to eat Imako. That's all that Gleba does. You can get very lost in the sauce on Gleba. You can be overthinking it. You can be worried about like byproducts and spoilage and all this kind of stuff, but if you operate from the assumption that resources on Gleba are infinite, which they are, then you can just throw caution to the wind and build anything you want. You just build more egg towers if you need more production. We're going to need more iron stromatolites as well. And for the first little while, we're probably just going to be hand feeding it. I'll run like one agricultural tower that puts seeds back in, but I'm also just going to chop down most of the plants that I need. What do you still need? 16 undergrounds. Woof. So it is going to be a little expensive to spin up. But priority number 1 is rocket fuel. Priority number 2 is going to be iron and copper stromatolites. And then from there, we're pretty much going to have everything we need. I was going to need a lot of splitters. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't have to panic about it now. Get a fresh new iron ore. These 6 power poles. I'm going to need 2 more. Or 3 more. But we'll be able to cover everything with a nice grid. Very happy. Very pleasing. Everything lines up. Never mind that we don't actually make power yet. That's a problem for later. 13 of you, 10 of you. And you're almost out of iron again. Go get more stromatolites. Yoink. You cook for a bit. We'll stick all of our inserters in. 4 splitters after this. Still doing just fine on copper. And then the undergrounds. The undergrounds are going to be so much iron. But once that's set up, start thinking about power. We are going to want to use Boiler plus steam turbine, probably. Like this boiler plus steam engine. Pollution doesn't really matter on Gleba. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's not pollution. So we can burn anything we want. And it doesn't really change things for us. So give me one boiler, one steam engine, and that should be enough to just run these inserters for a little bit. You're also going to need an offshore pump for water. And you're probably going to need some lengths of like pipe underground and regular pipe. And then you can start working on undergrounds. So. How do you want to do this? Maybe run it up here and use this space, because we're not really going to put anything behind that. Seems good enough to me. It shouldn't be that hard to weave a rocket fuel belt over here eventually. Face it the other way. Get it past the cliff, though. Yeah. Because we might end up wanting a lot of these. This is a power system we're not going to replace until we get to fusion, if we do it then. So I'm making some preparations to overbuild it a little bit. In the event that we literally never touch it again. And then some fuel for you. We could just chuck spoilage in there. It really does not have a lot of energy value, but it'll do in a pinch. And then run power out of here. This turns on. Getting very close now. Do you want to do something fancy here? So that you have an entirely populated belt? Yeah, I think I will split her onto it. Oh, you're done. It's ready to turn on. One inserter, one steel chest. No, you're gonna need a little more belt, and then it's ready to turn on. So, yoink, 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 yoink. It's bioflux out. Let us kickstart this bioflux process by generating a couple nutrients. You can have one here, and then you can have all 50 of my jelly nut. You guys can each have one. You guys can each have one, and then you can have some of these Yumako. Now, does it run? You're out of... Oh, right, because I have to turn the nutrient loop on. But I just need bioflux. Once I produce bioflux, bioflux will come into this machine. I do need to give it some nutrients to start. And then it will produce all of the nutrients that we need. You ran out of nutrients. Here, here, here. There's your extra bioflux. It's not very high quality bioflux right now, but we can improve that over time as we put fresher fruit in. That keeps you running. Oh, you need a way to grab nutrients. Duh. There you go. That'll do it. Alright. We just want to get the system turned on. We want to watch it work. And then we'll know that our proof of concept is good. You also want to take your inserter down here and have it output into a box. That's where all of your garbage is going to live for the time being. So this bioflux will spoil. That's fine. Again, I just want to prove to myself that this system actually functions. Our nutrients are super low quality because we didn't use fresh fruit. And because we used, like, spoilage to make them in the first place. But this appears to run. You're already out of Yumako. You take spoilage out. You take spoilage off the belt. You're fairly slow at it. We probably want to upgrade you to like a blue. But I think this works. The only thing it doesn't have is it doesn't have a cold start. But I could give it a cold start if I wanted to. And maybe I should, just for a proof of concept. Also, there's the most important unlock. Bioflux jelly and water into rocket fuel. That solves all of our fuel problems. Forever, basically. You work on that. I need a little bit more iron. Just kidding. No, I don't. And then I'll need 2 inserters from you. I want you to read belt. I want you to be enabled if spoilage greater than 10? No. Spoilage if nutrient is greater than 10. And then you need 2 more medium electric pole, need iron, need steel. Give me that. You can do the circuiting even if it's not powered. Connect here. Read all. You say if nutrient equals 0, then you turn on, and this assembly machine will then make nutrient as soon as I find it. Do I have to unlock that recipe first? Is it maybe only in an assembler 2? You can make spoilage in an assembling machine. Or you can make nutrients in an assembling machine. It must be an assembly machine 2. Where is my recipes? Yeah, okay, you need an assembly machine 2. That's fine, I just need a little steel for that. And then you're filtered to remove anything and just dump it back on the belt. Although I'm going to slightly change up where you sit, I think. I think you're going to offload here. And then give me 1 power pole, which is going to come out here. You are going to make spoilage from nutrient. And now this inserter will only run if it can't find nutrients on the belt, which will prompt this machine to make nutrients, which will circle back into the system, which will turn these machines back on, which will allow them to make bioflux, and the bioflux will get put into this machine. which can't grab nutrients. Ah, you need nutrients yourself. That's so true. You need that. Now, this system should run forever. This should be entirely self-sufficient. Love it. Okay, we need a second agricultural tower. That's going to take steel plate. It's going to take more steel plate. We want to establish our actual fruit growing. And we want to start automating this system, although we are going to be manually hand feeding farms for this foreseeable future because I just don't have enough landfill to get through this one. What we really want to try and do is rush roboports, because roboports are going to make supply of remote plantations much easier to manage. Why aren't you running? Oh, there is, because there's nutrient on the belt. I actually feel like you may not be able to work fast enough to keep up, because it's all going to spoil relatively quickly. So what if we do this? Read contents, include fuel, do not include crafting. Enable if... No, that's the machine. Do not enable disable you. You are reading contents, including fuel. You are enabled if nutrient equals 0 and no other time. I only want you taking nutrient if you absolutely need to, so that it can get to everybody else. Later on, when we have a more robust production chain, we can think about changing that. But for now, I think that these machines are going to try and eat all of the incoming nutrients that are coming out of my single shitty Kickstarter before they can actually get to the bioflux machine, which is the thing that I really need to turn on. Like, that's the thing that's got to run. And if that's true, then you actually don't want to control that thing with a circuit. You should be allowed to take nutrients anytime you want. So the next nutrient that comes out of here should be... No, because you lost yours already. We're going to need to kickstart this system a little more. Maybe not. No, it is. We are going to need to kickstart the system a little more. All right. The bigger issue is just getting fruit plugged in. So, I would like to automate that. Box, box. Here and here. Go get some fruit. Jelly nut tree? No, it wasn't. What the hell was it? Oh, they're right there on top of you. Give me one of those. Yumako. Give me one of these jelly nuts over here. That's not jelly nut. None of these are jelly nut. You're supposed... Oh, here they are. There we go. So Yumako goes in the right side. Jelly nut goes in the left side. Give me a little extra nutrients. And this is fine. Fruit lasts for an hour. Fruit is going to spoil very, very, very rarely. I'm not worried about that. Holy shit, that's a lot of spoilage. What happened in there? I really need to work on fast inserters. Fast inserters, I think, are going to be necessary to clear the amount of spoilage that's being generated by some of these. Even stacks, but I can't do stacks yet because I don't have red circuits. Alright, get that out of there. You've cleared your backlog. You don't have extra bioflux coming in because the Yumako machines are out of nutrients. Also, you're out of Yumako fruit already. But this works. Here's your nutrients. Yeah. So now you have nutrients for days. Realistically, you should be upstream. So that you're grabbing nutrients as soon as they come out. Rather than waiting until they roll all the way around. So let's move that. You should go there. And then you remove it. I think this is great. I couldn't be happier. This is a little annoying. We're kind of wasting some jelly here. So I guess I could slide this inserter up. Copy and paste your filters. And then just side load you. Also, that seems a little unnecessary. I think you can also side load. And then we'll leave it to the downstream splitter to take care of. Because if these back up, it's kind of a problem. The best way to handle it would be passing all of them through a splitter, but I don't know that that's super necessary. Well, you could up here. Up here you definitely could. It would look like this. And then you'd output priority right, and you'd filter on a deconstruction planner. No, you'd output filter left. And then that just turns the corner. So that's one way that you can make it a little more compact without doing any belt weaving. And then you could also do the same thing here. Feed into this splitter, feed into this as a splitter. Yeah, alright, why not? Let's make it look nice. It's nice to have things that look nice. I'm really pleased with this, though. I think this is a good, robust design going forwards. Your output right. Grab that spoilage. Same thing. Your left. Oh, that's not going to read the whole belt anymore, though, because you split it in half. That's true. But does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. No, wait, it matters a lot, because this one's fractured. It would kickstart when it doesn't need to. But again, is that the worst? It just means you're eating spoilage for no reason. But it's not like you need the spoilage. No, it is bad. Because it means you're going to be making bad bioflux. Alright. Then leave the Kickstarter off for now. And we'll just ignore it. And then you remove spoilage anytime you see spoilage. You're not enable disable, you just always take it off the map. And we'll run conditions. So now that that's done, we can start thinking about expanding. Which is going to be a second agricultural tower, and then probably like another 10 biochambers. Gonna need iron. Actually, look at your ratio to figure how many you need. Here we want to make rocket fuel. From jelly and bioflux. 0.4 bioflux per second, we make 6. 6 jelly per second, 6 water per second to make 0.3 rocket fuel per second. That seems low, and I'd like more. But how much more? Well, actually, you have a really nice ratio here, because isn't this also 6? That's 12. So you can do direct insertion here. You can set up one of these deals. Wrong rocket fuel recipe. You can do one of these guys. You're out of iron. Go get more. How much rocket fuel per second does the normal recipe make? Normal recipe in a biochamber, which is going to have 50% prod, makes 0.2. So I'm making slightly more rocket fuel in the biochamber using bioflux plus jelly than I am with a normal biochamber. The problem is that if I look at like Volcanus, this amount of rocket fuel assemblers... Wait a minute, these only make 0.08? Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 of those. So I'm making 0.64 rocket fuel per second on Volcanus. When Volcanus is actively shipping, that is not enough to run these 3 rocket silos. So for Gleba, which is going to have a lower number of shipments, Gleba is not going to be moving product as often as Volcanus does, moving calcite, tungsten plate, turbo belt, speed 3s, like Volcanus shoots a lot of rockets. I still probably want to aim for like 0.4 rocket fuel per second. That said, this would be 0.6. Oh, but you know what? It's also going to be my fuel, though. This is going to be the primary way that I generate power on the planet as well. I probably need to do this. So I'm going to need 6 biochambers plus 1 that is making the nutrients to run them. I'm going to need 3 more biochambers. Let's go find an egg raft. But that should be a decent amount of rocket fuel productivity for a pretty substantial Gleba base. Because Gleba does not consume a ton of power, as long as it's not launching rockets. And it also doesn't ship a lot of products. So I think I can probably get away with 4. Egg raft, please. Thank you. I'll be taking your things. 5. Would have been nice to get more, but Oh, I should be making these in biochambers. I should be getting the 50% prod out of it now. Change you. You. Grab them in. You're going to need 5 landfill. It's a shame we didn't get an even number of pentapod eggs. Just to simplify that calculation. Knock yourself out. You can have some extra fuel. I don't know why I feel like I'm rushing. These eggs take like 10 minutes to hatch. There's no real rush on this. You are going to need 5 and 5. You're going to need 25 green circuits. Done. And then you're going to need 20 and 5. You're going to need 100 iron plates. Also, you should make this in a biolab that's closer to you. Because that way... Stop that. Stop that. Because that way you won't waste productivity. I can leave this biochamber here for a very long time. And if I happen to catch it mid-biochamber craft, I won't lose half my progress on a free biochamber by dismantling it. 69 iron plate, nice. Have a bit more. I can make nutrient out of bioflux, right? I can. I'll do it myself. No, I can't. It's only telling me the recipe. It has to be in a biochamber. There you go. Right, you also need nutrient. I'll be taking those. I'll be taking those. Thank you. Oh, right, that's your fuel. I want you to be crafting ingredient. There we go. Free biochamber. Alrighty. Now, let's rebuild this blueprint. Here, here, here. We're going to have one more. It's probably going to sit here. You are going to have an output belt for... Turn your roboport off and start doing this in ghost mode. Output, rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is a non-perishable product. We don't need to worry about any kind of spoilage handling for it. Out spoilage. Spoilage is a perishable product. We are going to route it back in the direction of the belt. I'm thinking. You're going to need a nutrient loop in here somewhere too, though. Right. You've already forgotten all the lessons that you learned from setting up your basic bioflux loop. Products are going to be output down the middle. If it's not going back on the main belt, it goes out the middle. Also, you need to set pipes up. Here, here, here. And to save yourself the headache, your water input is going to be out this direction. So, earmark that. Also, get out of the way. Trying to work. All right. One down. Then we're going to have these weird inserters that are apparently facing each other, but this is going to be rocket fuel out. Over here, we are going to have... I actually don't love this. Why don't you love it, though? No, you're right. I don't love this. I can't explain it. It's based on vibes right now, but it's because this is going to be nutrient belt, right? Let's establish that immediately. Set the nutrient belt up, and then everything else you're going to be confusing yourself a lot less. Nutrient belt. Nutrient belt, here's the thing, is also spoilage belt. So you have inserters that take from it, and you have inserters that put onto it. But the inserters that put onto it are going to be spoilage only. Then, and here's the part where you're getting confused, rocket fuel out onto a second belt that goes out this way. Which leaves you with a handful of reds that do the direct insertion of jelly nut. A handful of reds that do insertion of jelly nut fruit. Inserters that handle spoilage removal. And then down here, splitter with a inserter set to filter spoilage only. Also, these can generate seeds as a byproduct, so we need to account for those in the filter. You are going to output prio left deconstruction planner, so everything is going to go onto this belt. And then down the middle, and this is the part that you confuse yourself on, is going to be your bioflux. Because bioflux is also an ingredient in the rocket fuel. You're going to have a splitter here. It's going to be output priority right, filtering nothing. You are going to have a belt here, an inserter here that is dedicated spoilage removal, because bioflux that's on this belt can spoil. Then you are going to have these weird inserters that are taking bioflux into rocket fuel. So that is all the products that you need for rocket fuel. It's all the products that you need for jelly. The only thing you need to do now is get nutrients onto that belt. And I really like the way that this does it. So I'm just going to copy this entire thing up to, for now, here. I'm going to slide this entire thing down. No, ghosts, please. It's legitimately one of the less cursed Gleba rocket fuel builds you've seen. Thank you. It's only my second rocket fuel Gleba build, and it's my first time building one from scratch. The first time I just blueprinted it like a menace. You're gonna go here. Set this back up. You just sit here and work. And then, and this is the beauty of having bioflux to nutrient live on top of your main bus. You slide all this shit down until the main bus lines up, and then you're like, boom, done. That's where it lives. You hook these builds up, this thing's like, oh shit, bioflux. I know what to do with that. And it grabs it. You kickstart it one time, and then it runs forever until it runs out of bioflux, and then the entire system dies because I haven't put in a failsafe. But I can put in a failsafe if I decide it's worth the effort later. I just have not decided that right now. Get inventory to select things as little curse. Don't talk to me about my hotbar, okay? I'm very sensitive about it. I grew up in a different era of video games. They hadn't invented hotkeys then. We selected copy and paste from a context menu in your file bar at the top of your UI, and we liked it. So you're going to be Jelly Nut. Jelly Nut is middle belt. That sucks. This is going to be so ugly. Oh, you just mean using Q? But Q is the picker, man. Like, everyone uses Q. Or do you mean, like, Q for this? Yeah, no, that's fair. I can see your point. Actually, to get this to line up, do you maybe just slide the bioflux down by one? Because you could. Put it here. Move this up by one. Then you go here, and then you have a splitter that goes wrong here. And then this is an underground. And then this goes like this, and this is like this. And then this is like this. So how does this break? It doesn't. It just works. The only thing you need to do is bring this guy over. Ye olde, get that thing off the belt inserter. Who is then going to feed into a splitter. I love this current Gleba setup. I feel like I can do anything. I feel like it is probably the most scalable Gleba build that I have ever made. Like, anything I want, I just hook it up to this shit. I wonder if I have room. Like, if I took you and I flipped you horizontal, I actually could get even more nutrient dispensers in there. No, I couldn't. It's going to conflict with the spoilage belt. The spoilage belt is going to require some. No, it's not. You can put the nutrient lab here. Oh my god. You can put the nutrient lab here, and then it overlaps with the bioflux belt because the bioflux belt is in the middle, dude. Oh my god. Right. We need to get this up because I'm tired of running out of power. I would very much like to transition to using rocket fuel in all of my shit, because once we have rocket fuel, we can set up actual production of iron and copper. And once we've set up actual production of iron and copper, and we have rocket fuel, we're basically like ready to build a rocket silo. You just, at that point, it's a build the rest of the rocket kind of situation. Go nuts. But the... Wait a minute, what the hell are you? Oh, you're Bioflux. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's okay. I know what to do with you. You are going to get an inserter here that is filtered on... Wait a minute. No, that's not going to work. Ooh, how does this work, actually? This is a little... This is a little finicky now, isn't it? I don't want to weave it. I can weave it and it's going to look ugly, but I don't want to have to. Or not weave it, but like I have it zigzag through this nightmare. Like if we didn't care about how it looked, it would be this. Stop doing that. This. Fuck, no, not even that. That would not help. If I push the dump belt left by one, I could split the bioflux to the left and loop back onto the bus. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I think I can get it through here no matter what. But I'm just wondering if there's an even more elegant solution. There kind of is. It's this. I split here. I split here. And then you go underground here. You go underground here. This whole thing just gets moved. Because it's not in the right place anymore. And then you slide through like this. You know what? This is actually going to be okay. This one's fine. Because it's going to look compact. And that's cool. Because it's going to like snake its way around that power line. And then you go underground here, underground here. It's fine. Is it my favorite? No. Does it work? Yeah. And then, as for you, you would just come out like this and we'd move this down one. Copy. Where'd my boy go? Oh, I cut it. That's okay, I can put it back. You go here. You go here. Your filter is spoilage and both seats. And copy you. Paste you here. I think that works. Pretty sure that works. Let's finish building it to see if it works. Shift mouse wheel when pasting lets me cycle through old copies. Cuts is yeah. I think usually I catch it fast enough that I can just control Z it, but in that case it was like sure I'll reset the filters on one inserter. Alright, what you need? 39 belt, 10, 20, 30, 40, 13 long-handed, 10, 13, I think that might have been 14, but it's fine. 10, 11, 5 splitters. You're gonna need copper for that. All right, let's go find some copper stromatolites. I think I've left a lot of them down here. Yeah, they're there. Getting more cursed looking with bells. I tried, okay? I tried my best. This is still fine. It's not bad. By Gleba standards, it's actually very good. But the wires, I'm going to keep these wires square as long as I can. That's a hill that I'm going to die on if I need to. I cannot abide by untidy wires. It looks awful. Shit's looking like the telephone wires outside somebody's house in, like, India. No. I need proper cable management. Is that where they have the crazy telephone boxes with like hundreds of wires coming out of them? You know the one I'm talking about. Telephone, wire, box, messy, outside. Outside, telephone, pole, lots of wires. This? Talking about this? Could not, will not, could not, cannot be me. Can't do that. It's just too much. 5 splitters. Yeah. You're out of fuel. Wood. That's worker robot speed 10 done. Love that for me. What else do I really want at this point? I guess we could knock out some of the Fulgora techs just so they're done. Do 2 of them at a time and then get back to something from Volcanoes. That way you're not consuming all of your EMEG science. I don't think you've really produced that much. Give me another rank of low density structure productivity. That'll keep... Well, no, you want to be really careful with your tungsten right now. Give me another rank of... The 38k. Give me another rank of mining productivity. Why don't you take that to 15? There we go. I don't want to burn through all of my tungsten on Volcanus right now. Because I don't really want to expand. 5 of these, please. 4 more long-handed. 1 medium power pole. A lot more than 1 medium power. If we're being honest with ourselves. You're also going to need more steel at some point. Get that going. You're going to need more fuel at some point. Get that going. Wait, we got none wood from that? Did he not give wood? Oh no, you got 55. You just can't see it. There you go. You work on that for a bit. The undergrounds are coming along. You're gonna need so much iron. 16 undergrounds, 4 pipe sections. There's 3. And then this water, you should just be able to run straight up from this pump. Because this pump is not going to get taxed by however many steam engines you hit. That pump is going to be chilling for a very long time. You can put the rest of these away too. There you go. Doop, doop. 1 more. Okay. Water hooked in. Only undergrounds now. And fuel. Give me all this. They'll be fine. Possibly the last batch of wood that we will ever need to burn. Before we transition to being a rocket fuel-based society. Is my lightning collector done? You need 6 more. Which is really 3 more. It's 1. You're going to need both iron and copper stromatolites. Go grab some of those. Here's a huge patch of them. Oh yeah, give me all this. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Plug those in. Give me this extra steel. Take the iron you've got. Give me 1 more. Just 1 to go, and then a couple power poles. Alright, maintain your grid. You can't maintain your grid. It's a disaster. No, well, you sort of can. Don't make me laugh. Oh, no, you can't. No, you can! This one can go here, and this... No, wrong. This one can go here, and this one can go here. Then you are not allowed to connect. Don't talk to that power pole ever again. And then we go here, here. Here, here. And if you ignore the fact that a bunch of these power poles aren't actually connected by wire, it looks like it's all on a grid. Very pleasing, very happy with that. I need a little extra wood to get this thing turned on, please. Just enough to fire up a little bit of power. And then I'm also going to need to grab a couple Yumako and a couple Jelly Nut to kickstart this system back on. But that should give us our first batch of rocket fuel. Yumako goes on left side. Yumako goes on right side. Jelly Nut goes on left side. Those aren't Jelly Nut trees, those are. And then you are also going to need to set up some nutrients. Actually, you have bioflux. Take what you've got on the belt to start with. Use that to turn this guy on. Off you go. You're going to get most of the rest of this stuff kickstarted as soon as I plug the other belts in. Stop that. I need the fruit to flow. Anytime you turn the nutrients on, you're on a timer. And then do the same thing here, I guess. Oh, you don't have enough bioflux either. You don't have enough bioflux, period. Alright, you do need to come up with some nutrients and fast. Have some of those. That should be enough to get some initial bioflux going. Maybe go get a couple more trees too. Like fruit really does not go bad that fast. You do not have to stress fruit spoil. It takes a long time for it to happen. So stock up a bit and really build up a good surplus of rocket fuel here. It'll keep things running in the long term. Bioflux that you need. Why aren't you making? Because you're out of nutrients. There you go. That should keep you happy for a bit. Jelly Nut? No, that's Slipstack. You idiot. You know what Slipstack looks like? You're gonna need one more. Roughly. Should really probably set up a deconstruction planner for this so you don't have to pixel it to figure out where the trees are. Also, I think you may have used up all of the ones in the vicinity here. Alright, well we should probably set up our agricultural towers at that point then. I don't think we have any more native jelly nut to harvest. Yumako here. Jelly nut here. What's your problem? Oh, you don't have nutrients in. That's what your problem is. Nutrients in? Nutrients in. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And then this is rocket fuel out. For now, it's just going in a box. Right? No, you need bioflux. Why aren't you getting bioflux? You are getting bioflux. It's just slow. You're not getting Yumako much. You're not getting Yumako? You're not taking Yumako out of the box fast enough. Again, I can live with that. This feels like you're maybe producing more nutrients than you need. In fact, you definitely are. This is going to fill your belt so much that it's not going to be able to... No, it'll take spoilage off here. I think this could... I think this could back up this arrangement. Target full. Oh! Target is full. You're right. This needs to go like this. And then it can go into a splitter. And then it can loop around like this. But it couldn't put into the side that had the filter. You should run fine now. You can have some more nutrients. That means this will also need to get fixed. You need to go like this. I need a splitter here. You are going to copy this. And then you're just going to come straight down like that. You can have those nutrients. Out of jelly nut. Did we use all of our bioflux up already? I guess like some of it is getting through the belt this way. How about I just give you some manually? And then you're out of jelly. So you would need jelly nut for that. Physically it places the item after the splitter. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's definitely not allowed to do that. How did spoilage get through here? Oh, this needs to filter on rocket fuel only. Rocket fuel. Rocket fuel, rocket fuel. I don't like that these belts deadlock. Because it means we can be more careful about how many nutrients we actually put onto it. And I think it would look like this. You read contents. Don't include crafting. Don't include fuel. Weren't we putting spoilage on one of the lanes with the nutrients? No, they both just go on the same... I guess technically spoilage always goes on far side, but they pass through this lane balancer, so everything winds up on both sides eventually. The bigger thing is I just want to control how many nutrients get put onto the belt. And I think the easiest way to do that... Well, I'd have to think about this a bit. Because the other thing I don't like is that passing it through splitters means that I can't wire the entire belt up easily. Like, I can and just run it through like an arithmetic combinator probably, but I don't want to have to do that. Because what I want to say is, like, this inserter doesn't run unless this belt loop has less than X nutrients on it. So that rather than running a greedy system, we're running a smart system. In the long run, it's not going to matter. I just really don't like that these belts deadlock. I might like this setup enough that I would be willing to set up some combinators for it. But honestly, given that it's 130, I think that is an idea that I'm going to incubate for a little bit and see if I can figure out a better technique. We've managed to build up 41 rocket fuel, so at least for the near term, our power problems are pretty much done. Do I want to avoid combinators? If I can help it, but I'm pretty sure a combinator is going to be the easiest way to handle this. And I do have space for them. Like, I could put a big block of combinators here. I could put a big block of combinators here. Like, it's easy to figure out where they would fit as far as the circuit's concerned. Oh, wait, what if I just ran it on the wires? Hold on. Hold on. No, because I'd still need a combinator, because I need to add the signal together. Or I'd need to get rid of the splitters. Just need to not have the splitter for the nutrients out of bioflux. Let's see if I can do this. Kill you. Get rid of every splitter. Because maybe the better way to do it... first of all, running no splitter would be great. So let's try and achieve that. So we go like this. Clean this entire belt. I think what's actually going to be the easiest is to run dedicated sides, where like outer is spoilage and inner is nutrient. Yeah, basically what you're saying. So let me just clean this off. I'm going to clean this off, I'm going to rebuild this, and then that's probably the last thing we'll do for today. That's what I said for the starting design. It's not what I meant for the starting design. What I meant for the starting design was that I could run spoilage and nutrients on a mixed belt, and for magic reasons that I hadn't fully considered, I wouldn't have this problem. And then I had this problem, and now I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell? How'd this happen? This wasn't in my plan. My carefully thought through master plan, it didn't include this snafu in it. So this is going to be hideous. But it's how we move spoilage to the outside of the belt. This is going to be easy, and it's how we move spoilage to the outside of the belt. This is going to be cursed. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be messed up. Can I fit 3 in there? I can fit 3 in there. Oh no, it's gonna put spoilage on the inside because it can't differentiate. The nutrient dispenser, you know what? Actually, that's fine. If the nutrient dispenser biolab puts spoilage on the inner belt, it's fine. Because, hold on. Hold on. No, well, what if you have one splitter? One splitter, I can still circuit everything, right? If you output right and you filter on nutrients only, that forces all nutrients to be on the inner side of the belt. And then if I wire you and I have you talk to all belt, you include all belt. That's how you do it then. I hate this, and I wish it was different. But I can't think of a better way to do it. I hate this, and I wish it was different. But I can't think of a better way to do it. I think this is fine. And then I wire all three of you together, and I wire you. And I don't need to wire the lab. And the only thing that you are going to look at... No, wait, I think I want to wire these separately. You are only going to... You don't need to get wired, actually. The only thing that needs to get wired is this inserter. Because this inserter is going to control when bioflux is allowed to get put into the... You need an inserter. You need a nutrient inserter here as well. And it needs to go here at the top so that it grabs fresh nutrient. You are going to look at how much nutrient is on the belt, and if nutrient is less than 20, you are going to run. If nutrient's over 20, you're not going to pick up bioflux, which means that it's just going to sit in here. And I'm fine with nutrients getting grabbed for fuel that eventually turn into spoilage, because in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge amount of consumption, I think. So now you need to do the same thing to the rocket fuel, and then you'll also need to do the same thing everywhere else forever going forwards. Yoink. What did you need? Underground. You didn't get enough plates. Are you joking? Is this a joke to you? Take that rocket fuel. Okay. Inserter. That needs to grab spoilage only. That's the only thing you need to worry about. You need to change. You need to look like this guy from up here. Just with a different filter condition. And then I need to grab this. And oh. How are we gonna fit all this shit in here? I don't actually think you'll need to output that many nutrients. Oh no, this is gonna be really bad. No, it'll be... Wait a minute. Have you completely overthought yourself here? You have. You don't need to do this at all. Why did you think you had to... Why did you think you had to do it that way? This is definitely bedtime. Like, it puts on near side natively. Yeah. Which means that this is actually okay. Although I am going to have it do like a little job. You're going to go like this. You're going to go like this. These don't need to be long-handed. I'll just have it do the jog earlier, and then they can be blues. I definitely want a blue to spit out. I probably don't need a blue to take in. And then I just pick any random spot on this belt, wire it to you, copy your condition, paste your condition. Read the whole belt. Also read the whole belt. I think that's it. I think that's the one. So now that that's done, I'm going to be done with Factorio for today, because it's going on 2 a.m. and I think I'm no longer making good decisions, and I would prefer to play on Gleba while making good decisions. But I think I think this is a framework that we can now just start pumping fruit into. It looks really unimpressive when I zoom out this far. I'm going to zoom in really close, so it's like, wow, it's so much busier. Look at all the amazing work we've done here. I think this is a framework that works, and I think we should be able to extend it to basically every product we make on Gleba, with the exception of agricultural science, which is going to be a little different because I don't want to put pentapod eggs on a rotating bell. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So we'll be doing more Factorio tomorrow after Guild Wars 2 is done. And if there's not very much to do like there was tonight in Guild Wars 2, we're going to get a lot of time in on just mess around with Gleba stuff. If you want to know when that is, I've got a Discord. You can sign up for the stream pings role there, which will send you a notification every time the stream goes live, if I remember to do so. There is a VODs channel if you want to catch up on stuff we've been working on in Factorio in the past, or on other games that we play on the channel. And if you are a Guild Wars 2 holdover who is interested in just watching some other things going on, I have edited, curated World vs. World videos for you on the main YouTube channel that you can check out at your leisure. I will see you guys around tomorrow for some more Guild Wars 2 and Factorio, and then possibly Thursday. Amanda's coming back soon. We don't exactly know when it's going to be. If it's Thursday, I'm probably not going to stream. I'm going to be hanging out with her instead. But Friday, we'll be back for Reset, and then more business as usual. But until then, take care. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good rest of your night.